You have sensed it in your spirit before you ever saw the signs. Something massive has been moving toward you, and now it's almost here. This is not just a new opportunity or another spiritual insight. This is a divine shift that has the weight of your entire calling behind it. I have watched you endure the pressure, stand through the delay, and wrestle silently with the timing of heaven. But I did not abandon you in the waiting, and I have not been silent in your silence. I've been building what's next while shaping you for it. The final step is not the end of the journey, chosen one. It is the gate into manifestation, alignment, and undeniable authority. What was once hidden will be seen, what was delayed will be delivered, and what was resisted will be released. I did not bring you this far for collapse. I brought you to the edge so you would learn how to command what's next. Now listen closely, because what is approaching will not announce itself with ease. It will confront your comfort to reveal your readiness. There is a reason the warfare intensified before the breakthrough could be confirmed. It was the final attempt to make you question what you already know. Every delay was a disguise, not a denial, and every obstacle was a filter, not a failure. I allowed the path to narrow so you could walk with focus, not fear. I allowed the voices to quiet, so you would listen to mine without confusion. The shifting around you isn't chaos. It's the earth responding to my command over your life. Heaven has already authorized the release. Now earth is aligning to make it visible. You are not late. You are right on divine schedule, and nothing will stop what has been decreed. This is your moment to cross the line you've seen in visions and dreams, but haven't yet stepped over. You've survived tests that were designed to drain you, not just distract you. And still here you are, tired but not turned away, weary but not wandering. That's why I'm trusting you with what others couldn't hold, because you refuse to quit in the quiet. Your consistency in private warfare is why I'm making you public proof of my covenant. No more shrinking to fit their comfort or editing your fire to make them feel safe. I lit that fire for demonstration, not diplomacy. This next move will not be small, hidden, or explainable by logic. It will carry the weight of my signature, the sound of my voice, and the substance of fulfillment. You won't need to prove it. They'll see it, feel it, and have no choice but to acknowledge it. I didn't choose you for comfort. I chose you for capacity. I placed within you the strength to carry revelation that would break cycles and call others into truth. And that is exactly what you've done, even when no one saw the cost. But I saw it. I marked every tear, recorded every silent prayer, and captured every moment you surrendered what felt good for what was God. This isn't just reward, it's recompense. What is coming carries not just favor, but justice. Not just blessing, but restoration. And I won't allow it to arrive until you know without question, you were always meant for this. You've looked around and wondered why others seem to progress with half the sacrifice, and I'm going to tell you why. I assigned you to legacy, not just success. That means your foundation had to be deeper, your stretching had to be wider, and your faith had to be tested at levels others never had to consider. Because when I launch you, you won't just rise, you will reign. I'm not preparing you for a temporary breakthrough. I'm securing your position for generational impact. That's why I withheld certain things until your root system could sustain the weight of what's next. I wasn't ignoring you. I was investing in you. And now that investment is about to yield undeniable evidence. Let the doubters watch. Let the ones who mocked your discipline sit in silence. Let those who questioned your calling see the confirmation unfold without your explanation. You do not need to vindicate yourself. Your fruit will speak for you. You do not need to chase those who left. You will lead those who remain. And as for the pain, I'm turning it into fuel, not just to rise, but to restore others who will follow the trail you're blazing. You're not repeating history. You are rewriting it, and nothing they tried can stop what I already decreed. There's been a pressure in your chest, a sense that something is building, but you couldn't name it. That was me stirring your spirit ahead of your circumstances. I always speak before I act, and I've been whispering this movement to your soul for weeks now. That unease wasn't fear. It was the weight of prophetic imminence. And now it's here. You will see it unfold quickly, but don't let the speed make you shrink. Walk into it fully, boldly, and unapologetically. You were born for this moment. And heaven is backing your every step. Hold steady. The final step is here, and once you take it, everything changes. You will not go back. You will not need to explain. You will only need to obey. What's been held back is about to be handed over. What's been silent is about to speak. And what's been resisted is about to break wide open. This final step is not about effort, it's about agreement. The moment you come into alignment with what I've already prepared, manifestation will not delay. You've been waiting on the open door, but the door has been waiting on your yes without hesitation. I've seen you partially believe, cautiously hope, and carefully trust. But now, I require full surrender. This is the threshold where logic won't serve you, where comfort won't protect you, and where partial obedience won't qualify you. You must move as one who knows, not as one who wonders. The delay wasn't denial, it was preparation for boldness. And now that boldness must rise because what's ahead will not respond to fear. Chosen one, your clarity is about to offend those who benefit from your confusion. I'm not just giving you vision, I'm removing the blinders they placed on you. You no longer need permission to move forward because I've already cleared the path. They called you too intense, too prophetic, too focused, but that was just their fear trying to mask your fire. You were never meant to fit in where truth isn't honored. That's why I made you feel so out of place in environments that dulled your discernment. This next season will require you to walk alone at times, but you will walk with power. And every step you take will disturb what was sent to keep you silent. Some of the people you thought would walk with you were only assignments for the earlier phase. They were not equipped to carry the weight of where I'm taking you now. And you don't need to grieve their exit. You need to thank me for their release. If I let them stay, they would sabotage what's sacred. They would delay what's divine. So I removed them without your permission, because your purpose is not up for negotiation. I did not bring you to the final step to argue with those who refuse to grow. I've been working behind the scenes while you stood in silence before men. And now I will speak in front of those same men on your behalf. You will not need to strive to be seen. I will cause eyes to turn toward you without your effort. Doors will open because of obedience, not because of influence. Favor will follow you, not because of who you know, but because of who knows you. You were marked in the quiet and refined in the fire, and now the wind of my spirit will carry you forward. You're about to see what I meant when I said, no eye has seen, but it will not just shock them, it will confirm me. Feeling moved by this word? Pause and tap like. Then grab your free daily alignment guide from the link in the description to keep the flow going. This move will not look like anything you've seen before, and that's intentional. I'm breaking the pattern to build something pure. This won't be revival as usual, favor as expected, or growth as assumed. I'm doing a new thing, and I've chosen you to walk in it before others see it. That's why it feels unfamiliar. It's not copied from anyone else's blueprint. I'm giving you fresh revelation, original strategy, and divine downloads that don't fit earthly systems. You are not late. You are early on purpose. And what feels like confusion is actually creativity from heaven being born in real time. Do not resist the pace. Accelerated does not mean rushed. I've trained your instincts to recognize the divine rhythm, and now it's time to trust them. When you feel the nudge, move. When you hear my whisper, act. When you sense the release, obey immediately. Delay will only bring distortion, but swift obedience will bring sudden alignment. You will look back and see that everything changed the moment you chose to trust me without second guessing. Some will accuse you of moving too fast, but they didn't see how long you waited. They'll say you didn't process enough, but they didn't see how deeply I processed you. You've walked through inner death, endured public silence, and survived private tests no one will ever understand. That's why your pace now will look supernatural. It is. This is redemption unfolding in real time. I'm not just moving you forward. I'm restoring everything that was delayed, detoured, or dismissed. This is divine catch-up, and you won't miss anything I've promised. This next season carries a boldness you didn't know you had. You'll speak what you used to journal. You'll move in authority that once made you tremble. You'll stand in rooms where you once felt invisible, and my glory will rest on you like a banner. What once made you question yourself will now confirm me. What once intimidated you will now obey you. What once looked impossible will now respond to your faith. This is not a season of trying, it is a season of taking, because what I said is still true. You are mine, you are chosen, and you are ready. There is a sound in the spirit that only those who have endured deep preparation can discern, and you hear it now. It's the sound of divine movement, of promises waking up, of walls breaking where delay once stood. This is not just spiritual warfare, it's prophetic fulfillment. The atmosphere around you is shifting because heaven has released the next instruction. I am not merely whispering encouragement, I am thundering direction. Your posture must now change from waiting to walking, from hoping to handling. What was once a distant word is now a present command, and your yes must carry weight. Stop negotiating with fear. It has nothing left to offer you. You have outgrown the strategies that once helped you survive, but now hold you back. I'm calling you into a dimension of clarity where distractions can no longer find you. This is the season where your mind must match your mantle. You cannot afford to question what I have already confirmed. You cannot afford to remain silent where I have given you volume. Speak, move, build, declare. Because I am with you in every breath. This isn't pride, it's obedience. You've been feeling like you're standing on the edge, and you're right. But what you're seeing isn't a cliff, it's a runway. What looks like a risk is actually a release. I've cleared the air above you and the ground beneath you so that nothing interferes with your acceleration. I've waited until now because the spiritual traffic had to be removed. You've had dreams of this moment, and now you're living in its shadow. Next comes the full light. I'm not asking you to leap blindly. I'm commanding you to launch faithfully. Because I built this next place with your feet in mind. There is territory assigned to your name that demons have been guarding, hoping you'd grow weary before you arrived. But they didn't expect you to survive the crushing. They didn't expect you to rise again after the collapse. And they certainly didn't expect you to be this clear, this grounded, this focused. You're not just walking in blessing, you're walking in vengeance. Every step you take reclaims what they stole. Every word you speak resets what they tried to ruin. And every door you walk through reminds hell that you are no longer hiding. You are here, you are ready, and you are moving. I gave you a sharp mind for strategy and a deep spirit for discernment. Now both must work together. You're not just called to feel revival, you're called to lead it. You're not just carrying anointing, you're stewarding atmospheres. That's why I'm teaching you how to govern, not just survive. You'll no longer be drained by rooms that aren't built for your capacity. I'm placing you in environments that stretch you into leadership, not shrink you into silence. You've been under long enough. Now it's time to rise with understanding. This is dominion. Every lie that tried to define you is being dismantled right now. You are not unstable. You are sensitive to shifts others ignore. You are not too intense. You were designed to carry fire. You are not too much. You were just surrounded by too little for too long. I've seen how you tried to minimize yourself to make others comfortable, and I'm calling you out of that now. This is the era of full emergence. No more pretending, no more dimming, no more editing yourself down to fit inside their fears. The world doesn't need another watered-down witness. It needs a bold, unapologetic chosen one who knows exactly why they're here. That's who you are. You're not random. You're not replaceable. You're a blueprint for breakthrough, a sign of heaven's order, a vessel of fire and precision. That's why the attacks were so specific, because your purpose is not vague. And now that you're stepping forward, everything around you must adjust. Let them say you changed. Let them say you shifted. They weren't meant to recognize this version of you. This is who I've always seen. There's a frequency I've tuned your spirit to that others can't hear, and it's why your movements no longer make sense to those around you. I've made you aware of things before they manifest, so you walk by revelation, not reaction. That inner knowing you keep questioning is not your imagination. It's your assignment echoing through your spirit. Stop apologizing for moving differently. Stop explaining why you're building what they can't yet see. You are not off course, you're ahead of schedule. And what they call strange, I call surrendered. You're not out of line, you're in alignment. Chosen one, you've crossed the point of no return, and that's exactly where I need you. I never called you to live in retreat mode. I never intended for your purpose to be reduced by the opinions of the comfortable. You are a disruptor of cycles, a breaker of bloodline curses, and a prophetic architect of what has never existed before. That's why your path was so lonely, because it wasn't common. I hid you not to punish you, but to preserve you. Because when I reveal you, nothing will be able to distort the clarity I've forged in you. This is not the time to look back. This is the hour to step fully into what you were born for. You've sensed the weight of this call for years, but now it's no longer just spiritual, it's physical. Your body feels the shift. Your emotions sense the intensity. Even your atmosphere has changed. And this is not your imagination. This is convergence. It's the collision of every prayer, every seed, every act of obedience, every yes. It's the divine moment where all things begin to work together in real time. You are not watching from a distance anymore. You are standing in the middle of the manifestation. And this is only the beginning. The pressure isn't punishment, it's proof. It means the promise is near. The enemy doesn't waste energy on someone standing still. He only panics when movement threatens his grip. That's why your warfare intensified right before the release. That's why your peace felt fragile. But I'm strengthening you now, not just to stand, but to seize. You're not here to survive the pressure. You're here to give it purpose. Every attack will be converted. Every delay will be redeemed. Every resistance will now serve the very thing it tried to stop. This is where you begin to speak differently. Not from anxiety, not from fear, not from the need for validation, but from revelation. You will speak what I speak. You will declare what I decree. Your voice will not shake. Your words will not return empty. Your prayers will pierce dimensions, and your authority will silence confusion. I'm awakening your voice because it's time to build with your mouth before you build with your hands. The sound of breakthrough begins inside of you. Let it rise without filter, without apology, without fear. Your sound is sacred. I'm clearing out distractions that masqueraded as responsibilities. Some things you felt obligated to carry were never yours to manage. You do not owe your energy to every emergency. You do not owe your loyalty to cycles I broke off you. I'm cutting the cords that drain you so you can rise without weight. I'm exposing the obligations that were assignments from the past, not instructions for now. This is a clean transition. You will not carry the old into the new, and anything I ask you to release I will replace with something unshakable. You've asked me if you're really ready, and here is my answer. You are. Not because you've done everything perfectly, but because you've allowed me to perfect what mattered. You've stayed soft where others became hard. You've stayed open where others became guarded. You've kept your heart accessible even after betrayal. That's why I can trust you with this next level of authority, because your purity has survived your process, and I will not waste that. I will multiply it. I will place you before people who need what's alive inside you, and they will recognize me in you without explanation. What's next won't be subtle, and you won't be able to hide from it. You won't want to. It will be too real, too evident, too divine to deny. You will carry what others can't fake. You will hold what others couldn't grasp. You will live what you once only imagined, and I'll confirm it at every step, not to boost your ego, but to remove every doubt, not to impress the world, but to fulfill what I promised. Get ready, chosen one. Something massive is already here, and you're walking right into the heart of it. There is no more delay. What I spoke over your life is no longer a future promise, it's a present instruction. You are not waiting for the shift, you are walking in it. Stop looking ahead like it's far off. Start moving like it's now. I've already gone before you to prepare the places that used to intimidate you. I've already anointed your name in rooms you haven't entered yet, and I've already scattered the forces that tried to resist your arrival. This isn't potential anymore, it's fulfillment unfolding. You are not who you used to be, even if you still feel familiar things. I've stripped off layers you didn't know were there. I've purged motives, healed wounds, and refined intentions. That's why your spirit feels so bare. It's clean. You're not empty, you're cleared, and now I can fill you without interference. What I pour into you from here will be pure, weighty, and undeniable. It won't need human approval. It will be marked by heaven. You've wondered if you're hearing me correctly, and I'm telling you now, you are. Don't second-guess the clarity I paid for in fire. Don't doubt the discernment that came through deep surrender. You didn't just learn to hear me, you died to everything else just to listen. That kind of obedience cannot go unrewarded. I'm giving you instructions that unlock locked doors. I'm releasing timing that overturns missed opportunities. I'm giving you language that disarms resistance, and I'm placing a boldness on you that no fear can silence. Everything around you will begin to move faster because I've removed the barriers that slowed you down. I've dismantled invisible blockages and broken through spiritual ceilings. What took years will now take weeks. What once cost sweat will now come through surrender. I'm not bypassing the process. I'm revealing the pace that was always yours. You're not behind. You were just being fortified while others were being celebrated. And now your time has come without compromise. This is where you start to build differently. You'll no longer replicate what you saw. Now you'll release what I show. You're not building from trend. You're building from truth. I'm giving you patterns that no system can explain. I'm revealing architecture that will look radical to those still operating in religion. But you weren't called to maintain what's broken. You were called to birth what's holy. Let them watch. Let them critique. I didn't give them the blueprints. I gave them to you. Don't fear the weight of what's coming. I've already strengthened your frame. The stretching was not for punishment. It was for capacity. That tension in your spirit was making room. That ache you couldn't explain was divine enlargement. And now that room is filled with fire, focus, and fulfillment. You won't break under what's next. You'll rise in it. You'll move through it. You'll govern from it. You'll carry it with grace and with no apology. I have assigned angels to surround your movement. You're not walking unprotected. You're not stepping into risk. You're stepping into reinforcement. Every arrow they launch will miss. Every plot they plan will collapse. Every word they speak will fall powerless, because I've raised a standard around you that no accusation can penetrate. You are covered, you are sealed, and you are unstoppable, not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. Chosen one, don't flinch, don't retreat. Don't hesitate when the invitation opens in front of you. I've waited for this alignment. I've guarded this moment, and now that it's here, I'm not letting it pass you by. Step fully. Declare boldly. Move swiftly. I will meet you at every turn. I will back you at every door. I will confirm you in every atmosphere. This is the step that shifts everything, and you're taking it right now. I am calling you to walk in a level of authority that requires absolute clarity. No more second guessing, no more emotional detours. You've been prepared for this, not just through favor, but through fire. Every moment that felt like delay was me digging deeper foundations. You were never stuck. You were being fortified. And now the release will not be small or gradual. It will be undeniable and fast. Your obedience is about to unlock what others called impossible, and where they saw limitation, I'm placing acceleration. Because I didn't anoint you to survive, I anointed you to lead. This is not just a new season, it's a new dimension. You're stepping into spiritual depth and strategic influence that will shake atmospheres. I didn't train you in shadows so you could shrink in the light. You will no longer carry power quietly. You will no longer apologize for the clarity I've entrusted to you. I've given you vision that corrects systems and purity that exposes corruption. You are a disruptor with divine order in your mouth, and I am backing every word you speak from obedience. Speak boldly, move unapologetically. You were born for this level. I'm removing your dependence on affirmation. What once validated you will now irritate you. You'll no longer seek their approval. You'll crave my presence because where I'm taking you, applause can't sustain you, and distraction will no longer be able to follow you. You are being purified in your motives and elevated in your perspective. You'll no longer be drained by shallow conversations or relationships that don't carry oil. I'm reassigning your attention, your energy, and your focus, because where I'm positioning you, precision matters more than popularity. You will walk into rooms you didn't network your way into. You'll be handed keys you didn't campaign for, not because of who you know, but because of what you carry. I've branded your spirit with my glory, and that alone qualifies you. You are not a seeker of platforms, you are a steward of presence, and that presence is about to make a sound that no one can ignore. They will ask where you came from, and the answer will be simple: obedience. They will ask how it happened so fast, and the answer will be clear: it was time. Like this message? Subscribe for more and comment 55 to show your alignment. Find your free daily alignment guide linked in the description below. The influence I'm giving you is not for attention, it's for assignment. You will activate those asleep in their callings. You will break off religious numbness and awaken divine hunger. What you carry will stir atmospheres and correct error, not through pride but through presence. I've trained you not to flinch in confrontation because I'm sending you where compromise has been comfortable, and your presence will be my interruption. You won't have to force it. Just walk in and everything off alignment will begin to shift. You are my strategy. I've separated you not to isolate you, but to consecrate you. You couldn't stay connected to what you were called to transform. That's why the old circles no longer fit. That's why the old voices no longer resonate. I've called you into a higher frequency where only the focused survive. You're not missing out, you're moving up. And what I place in your hands next will not require striving. It will respond to your surrender. Because I've already made room for what belongs to you. You've already been seen by the ones that matter. Heaven knows your name. Angels know your voice. And darkness knows your threat. You've been underestimated by man, but never by me. I've been protecting your becoming while preparing your platform. And now I'm calling you out, not just to shine, but to build. Not just to speak, but to shift. Not just to rise, but to reform. This is your next level. Walk into it fully. There will be moments ahead where fear tries to visit, but it will not find a home. You are too established in me to break now, too rooted to retreat, too assigned to shrink. Every step you take will be under the weight of my voice, and every move you make will be followed by divine evidence. This isn't hype, it's holiness. And what I've begun, I will finish. Through you, with you, for my glory. You are not stepping into this moment by chance. You were summoned by destiny. Everything you've walked through was a setup for this unveiling. I allowed pressure to forge purity, obscurity to protect clarity, and delay to refine direction. You're not arriving weak. You're arriving focused. The power I placed inside of you is not seasonal, it's foundational. This isn't momentum, it's mantle. And now that it rests fully on you, everything around you will begin to shift by necessity, not negotiation. Because where I've assigned you, toleration ends and transformation begins. I am silencing every voice that tried to keep you bound to a previous version of yourself. They knew the version of you before the crushing, before the fire, before the commissioning, but they never saw who would emerge from it. That's why they can't understand you now. That's why they question your silence, your posture, your movement. But you do not owe them familiarity. You owe me fulfillment. And what I've called you to do can't be explained to people still living in cycles you've already broken. You've leveled up spiritually, and now it's time to move like it. The doors I'm opening will not require your resume, only your readiness. You don't need to prove that you're qualified. You don't need to network your way into purpose. You need only to stand in what I said. My voice over your life outweighs every doubt, every delay, every denial. This is not about connections, it's about covenant. You didn't get here by favor alone. You got here by fire-tested obedience. And that obedience is about to make the impossible bow. Some of what's coming will arrive so quickly it will shock your system. But don't confuse pace with pressure. I'm not rushing you. I'm redeeming time. I'm collapsing what should have taken years into moments. You'll wake up one day and realize you're living inside the prophecy you once warred for. That's how thorough I am. That's how faithful I've been. I didn't forget what I promised. I just had to ensure you wouldn't lose yourself in what I was about to give you. Now that you're grounded, I can release it without fear. There are people assigned to your obedience. They are waiting, though they don't know it yet. Your voice will unlock their direction. Your obedience will clear their confusion. Your faith will stir their hunger. This next move isn't just about you, it's about legacy. You are the first sound in a new cycle. You are the first light in a line of freedom. What you build now will ripple for decades. That's why I required more of you. Because I'm entrusting you with more than you can imagine. I've broken every ceiling that tried to hover over your life. No more limitations, no more invisible restrictions, no more mental barricades. You're about to think differently, move differently, decide differently. You'll no longer lead from insecurity. You'll lead from identity. I'm affirming you in such a deep way that external voices won't shake your internal knowing. You're about to operate with a calm authority, a steady fire and a grounded boldness. This is the fruit of real surrender. There will be moments when what I release feels too big, but that's the point. I don't give small assignments to those I've trained in fire. I don't offer minor roles to those who've survived major crushing. You are not a backup plan. You are not a spare vessel. You are my choice. And everything about you, your voice, your mind, your posture, is evidence that I choose well. Don't shrink, don't defer, don't delay. It's time. The heavens are watching. Angels are on assignment. Hell is trembling, and earth is shifting, because a chosen one is stepping fully into place, not to compete, not to perform, but to reign. And every step you take confirms what I've always known. You were made for this. This is not a test, it's a transfer. I am placing in your hands the authority that was once withheld for the sake of your development. You were not being denied, you were being deepened. Now the depth of your roots will match the height of your reach. What I place on you now will not slip through your fingers, because you've been taught how to carry weight without collapsing. This is not just increase, it's installment. You are being positioned to govern what once felt out of reach, and no voice of doubt will be able to follow you into this next dimension. You will recognize your new level not by applause, but by resistance. Doors will open, but so will warfare. That's not a sign to retreat. It's confirmation that you've entered a space the enemy hoped to keep sealed. Do not mistake opposition for misalignment. This time, resistance is your indicator that you're right where I want you. When hell panics, heaven advances, and I have given you the keys to walk in both realms with dominion. What used to shake you will now serve you. What used to confuse you will now confirm you, because you are no longer reacting. You are reigning. There are voices about to rise that will try to discredit what I'm doing through you. They will say it's too fast, too different, too bold. But they didn't see the nights you didn't sleep. They didn't hear the cries that birthed this oil. Let them talk, let them speculate. You do not have time to explain a process they never carried. You do not owe a report to those who never stayed. I will defend what I've built in you, and their confusion will become your confirmation. Because I don't build with the approval of man, I build with the obedience of the chosen. You are no longer just a voice in preparation, you are a vessel in release. The words I give you now will carry weight, shift hearts, and unlock blueprints. You're about to say things that cause alignment in people who didn't even know they were out of place. I've put fire in your language and precision in your discernment. You will not miss the mark. You will not waste your words. You will speak with the kind of accuracy that silences debate, because what I'm doing through you isn't emotional, it's eternal. And eternity is echoing back to you now. I'm raising your awareness of spiritual timing, so you won't second-guess the moment again. You will know when to speak, when to wait, when to move. No more premature action, no more delayed obedience. You are stepping into rhythm, not just revelation. That rhythm will protect you from burnout and shield you from unnecessary warfare. I'm surrounding your steps with insight that preserves your energy for what truly matters, and what matters now is movement, not explanation. I've assigned breakthrough to your presence. You won't always need to say much. Your arrival will carry impact. The authority you wear will be felt before you even speak. That's what happens when I saturate a vessel with glory. They sense it before they see it. They yield to it before they understand it, and they align with it even if they don't yet agree with it. You're not walking into rooms to fit in, you're entering to shift the frequency. They will know something holy just entered. You'll begin to notice that old tactics don't even tempt you anymore. The traps that used to trip you up no longer have a voice. That's not arrogance, that's freedom. I've delivered you so thoroughly, temptation has lost its flavor. You're no longer trying to prove you're over it. You just are. And from this place of wholeness, you will help others break free. Your clarity will awaken them, your movement will provoke them, and your presence will remind them that God still chooses the yielded. You are not chasing revival, you are carrying it. You are not waiting for fire, you are burning with it. And everywhere your feet tread will be marked by what I placed in you. You are not common. You are not conventional. You are not convenient. You are called. And this final step isn't the end, it's the emergence. Everything hidden is about to rise, and everything silent is about to speak. You are about to see me move in ways that leave no doubt. This was never about your strategy. It was always about my sovereignty. I didn't call you to manage outcomes. I called you to obey instructions. What happens next will not be the result of human calculation, but of divine orchestration. I've arranged the moments, the meetings, the timing. I've softened hearts you haven't even met yet. I've whispered your name into spaces your feet haven't entered yet. And I will cause every piece to connect with ease because I've called you to occupy, not chase. You've asked me how you'll know when it's time to move, and I'm telling you, it's now, not tomorrow, not next quarter, now. I've already sent the signal to your spirit, and your peace is the confirmation. Do not wait for a second sign when I've already sent the first word. I'm awakening your instincts, so you'll no longer delay your own deliverance. Your faith is about to be followed by fulfillment. Your obedience will be met with outpouring, and what seemed like risk will reveal itself as reward. This is where you stop begging and start building. Stop looking for permission to do what I already told you to establish. You do not need consensus to move forward. You only need courage. The blueprints are already in your spirit. Now it's time to act. You'll see provision meet you mid-step. You'll watch resources emerge from unexpected places. You'll walk into clarity as you move in faith. Because I didn't give you the vision to torment you, I gave it to release others through you. Some of the warfare you've endured was never about you. It was about what you carry. Hell hoped to shut it down before it could take form. But you didn't collapse. You stayed in the fire. You endured the silence. And now what you carry is indestructible. That's why I'm sending you not just with fire, but with authority. You will speak and things will break. You will declare and doors will open. You will obey and the ground will respond. Because this is more than calling, it's covenant in motion. You've wondered if it was all worth it, and I'm answering that now. Yes. Every lonely season, every misunderstood moment, every silent war, every stretch. None of it was wasted. All of it was weight. And now that you carry it, you won't even need to convince anyone. They'll see the evidence, they'll feel the shift, and they'll either align or be removed. Because what I'm doing through you now won't wait for approval. This final step you're taking is not a leap into uncertainty. It's a launch into everything I've promised. You're not walking into mystery. You're stepping into manifestation. The things you journaled are about to live. The things you prayed are about to materialize. I didn't forget. I didn't delay without purpose. I've been aligning people, timelines, and systems to accommodate what I placed in you. And now the stage is set. You're going to feel a wind on you that makes no sense to the natural mind. It's the spirit confirming that you are not doing this in your own strength. This is not striving. This is grace, moving at full speed. You will not have to hustle to make it happen. You will only need to stay in step. I'm releasing you from the weight of proving, of pushing, of pretending. Just walk, just release, just steward. I will do the rest. And when you arrive at the place I've prepared, you'll know. Not because of comfort, but because of confirmation. You'll see the fruit, you'll hear the echo, you'll feel the oil, and you'll know this wasn't hype, this was holy. The final step was never about leaving where you were, it was about becoming who I called you to be. You're not stepping into something random, you're stepping into something massive, and I have been waiting to release it through you. You've reached the moment where everything that once felt delayed now feels destined. This is not the end of a process, it's the birth of a new movement. The doubts that once haunted you have been replaced with direction. The battles that tried to break you have only proved how unshakable you truly are. I've watched you wrestle through what most would have surrendered under, and I've chosen to mark your life with results that can't be argued with. You will now become the evidence of divine alignment, and everything around you must adjust to the reality of who you are. Chosen one, the realm you are entering is not crowded because few have endured what it takes to arrive. That's why your voice sounds different. It carries weight now. That's why your presence feels heavier. It's filled with purpose now. I'm not elevating you to impress anyone. I'm establishing you to reform everything. Your life is a divine interruption to systems that have gone unchecked for too long. Your story will not just inspire, it will activate. What I'm doing through you now is generational, and it starts the moment you say yes without hesitation. There will be no more going back to what was familiar but broken. You're stepping into stability that cannot be shaken by trends, people, or time. I've built this foundation to last through storms and silence. You'll no longer chase moments, you'll create movements. You'll no longer crave affirmation, you'll release affirmation to others. And the authority I've placed on you will speak even when you are silent, because the evidence of my hand on your life will be too clear to deny. Now take a breath and settle this in your spirit. This is not temporary and this is not hype. This is holy. It's been paid for in surrender, secured in obedience, and sealed with fire. You've passed the tests that mattered, and now you walk as one who carries the seal of divine fulfillment. Move forward boldly, govern wisely, build consistently, and never forget. I chose you for this because I knew what was in you all along.